What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I want to talk about Froch. He recently did an interview with ESPN UK, and he had some interesting things to say. I want to give you guys the update. Now, this is what he said. Here's a direct quote. I think it's James DeGALE or Gennady Golovkin, probably in that order. If they called up tomorrow and said, we've got the DeGALE fight, and we think it will sell Wembley, and they started being reasonable with the split they're looking for, then maybe. But all of a sudden, now that he's champion, he's getting a bit unrealistic about how much he's worth. And I don't need to be listening to that silly talk and bowing down to anyone who thinks they may be the next big thing. At the end of the day, people get excited when I box. And I always bring a big following with me because I leave it all in the ring. So it all needs to be right before I accept any challenge. And he goes on to say that the business has to make sense too, which is what all fighters say nowadays. So that makes sense to me. The link will be in the description in case you want to listen to the whole podcast with Froch and ESPN crew. So I want to give my thoughts on it. Now, this is my thought. As far as the fight, I really like both fights. James DeGALE or Triple G. They're both great fights. But I did a video a month ago, and it was talking about the prospect of Froch versus Triple G. And I talked to my source, my connect, in the game, and they said they were trying to make the fight at a catchweight. And obviously, that would favor Triple G since he's at middleweight and Froch is 38 years old at super middleweight. So I don't really see why a super middleweight at 38 is going to want to drop down 4 pounds if he doesn't have to make a fight with the smaller guy. He would probably want the weight advantage. So obviously, I'm assuming it came from the Triple G camp. Now, when I did that video, some of you guys got mad at me. They're like, no, you're lying. You're a liar. You're a liar. Triple G would never do that. His team would never do that, right? But if you listen to this podcast, Froch is saying the contrary. He's saying that Triple G, his team, wanted to make the fight at a catchweight of 164. So this is the thing I don't like in boxing. Triple G's representation, K2 Promotions, or Tom Loeffler, said, he tweeted this, out of respect to Froch and his marketability in the UK, we never asked him for a catchweight, always clear at 168 with Eddie. And he actually put this a while ago also. So somebody has to be lying. They both can't be telling the truth. You know what I mean? Either it was a catchweight of 164 was offered, like Froch is saying, or Tom Loeffler, Triple G's side, they're saying it was always clear it was going to be at 168. So I don't know who's telling the truth. Some of you guys got mad at me because I was telling you what I heard from a trusted source. I don't know, but this is the thing I hate. It reminds me of like when Canelo and Mayweather, they were arguing. Both sides were not admitting to the catchweight. Floyd Mayweather was like, no, they asked for a catchweight because they were desperate to make the fight, so we held them to it. And then Canelo was like, no, we didn't want a catchweight, and we would have never chose a catchweight. So I hate these things in boxing where we don't really know what side is telling the truth and what is being negotiated or discussed behind closed doors. As far as Froch, I'm going to say it like this. The thing is with boxing fans is a lot of boxing fans are floozy. And based on their favorites, they'll make exceptions. They don't call it straight down the middle. Now, if Floyd Mayweather or Cotto were to make quote-unquote diva demands like glove size or Sergio can't wear the knee brace, then you jump all over him. But Froch, in recent memory, has done that a lot lately. You know what I mean? He speaks to himself about himself in a high regard, and he's saying this, and James DeGALE, oh, it's split has to be right. And he talks the same A-side, diva side, like Mayweather and Cotto, and I'm sure there's some other people like that. Broner for doing the catchweight with Porter. But again, keep it consistent. If you're mad at Broner for the catchweight and quote-unquote A-side antics, then you got to take it out on everyone. So that's the only thing that I don't like about recent Froch interviews. He acted like James DeGALE was the plague, and it made absolutely no sense to fight him at all. And then now all of a sudden he's saying he's the front runner instead of Triple G. So that's the only thing that I really like Froch, but that's the only thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is that he wanted nothing to do with James DeGALE, but now he fought for a vacant title and all of a sudden he's worthy now. So hopefully they get it together. I think they're both great fights, James DeGALE and Froch. And I just think he flip-flopped a bit with, it's not worth my time to fight DeGALE, but now it is, and now the Triple G fight might not happen. Both good fights. I would really like to see both. I think Froch has more fights in him. You guys let me know what you think. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.